Welcome back to the DFS Special. I'm your host, your DFS Jerusalem, coming to you live from the list. You got 150 entries, and then you're a shark, and I don't fuck with you. So there's too much good shit on here. This is the often imitated, never duplicated. I'm here with my lovely co-host. Thank y'all. Stay safe. Enjoy. I may have been calling in to work. You're gonna be in the running for the Snowflake of the Year. Get your shit together with your snowflake. I'm here at the crib, man, and I'm just finishing up. Stop. Throw them bitches in the main. I'm telling you. You're gonna see the results, bro. You're gonna see it. This is what's really gonna help you out. You know how I feel about the home dogs. There's a lot of fight in the home dogs, and I really think a lot of shit to go over tonight. Who that? Scoring all them points over there. Player of the night. Paulie D. Get them in there. And let's go get what's that, fella? Thursday. Okay, Paul. And remember, in the sweatshop, we always keep it 300. Paulie D says, "What up, Mo? Nice night last night." Yeah, that's the pot calling the kettle pour. You fucking killed it the other night, bro. Yeah. It's all love, man. I stepped into the live stream last night, man, and saw the Wise Take Homies chop it up some. I stepped into the Gun Decker Studios and watched them chop it up a little bit. I stepped into I'm looking forward to stepping into Phenom in a couple of hours, man, watching them chop it up. And that's, yo, I love that, man. That's the shit that I like. That's the shit that I like, where like the everyday cat can get together and we chop it up. And they were talking about it. They were like, yo, we should all get together and do something. We should do that, man. Like a pre-lock joint. Maybe set up a schedule, man, where one day out of the week, man, all of us on a panel, the guys who really have our feet on the ground, man, and with our ear to the street, to the pulse of DFS, man, where we can get together and chop it up. That would be so dope, bro. I would love that. But well, let me introduce myself. I'm sorry. My name is your DFS Jerusalem. You can follow me, of course, on Twitter here at DFS Jerusalem. Today, we are going to be chopping up a little bit of what happened last night. We'll be looking forward, of course, to today's a huge slate of games. Well, it's huge compared to these smaller 6 and 5 game things we had early to start the week. But we've got a really nice slate of games today. A lot of good shit to talk about. And we're going to be jumping into that. Okay, so we're going to go with our regular format of the show. We're going to start, of course, with my Core 4 review. This is where I have to keep it real with you. I have to be honest with you. I had a decent night. My night could have been so much better. I had a decent night. It wasn't awesome. But the good thing is I think a lot of folks, a handful of us in the shop, actually did well. So it wasn't a night where, you know, I just crushed it, but I was able to share the information that I had with a lot of folks. I took the information that was shared with me, and we all put together some really solid lines. So let's take a look, man. We're going to go live inside the Sweatshop VIP. This is where it all goes down. And, you know, this lineup, excuse me, this core of Towns, Porzingis, Teague, and Dinwiddie. Teague, man, he pissed me off. Because, I mean, 3/4 of these guys were in overtime games. You know what I'm saying? Like 3 to 4 guys that I had in my core were in overtime games. And Jeff Teague, man, I'm going to start calling you George again. If you don't pick that shit up, I'm gonna start calling you George Teague again. This is horrible what he did. So, but this was a solid core plays, man. It really set me up in a lot of different spots. I pretty much had these guys almost every fucking where, and that was really dope. That they were able to do well. And I'm not gonna say I predicted anything, but I kind of felt like Chris Stapps was gonna lead the whole slate in scoring. We talked about that in the VIP, and it definitely happened. It definitely happened. So that was dope. And actually, your Teague hurt me, bro. Teague hurt me. Teague hurt me. Oh man, that pissed me off. That pissed me off. But this was a good one. This was a good one. Really good core 4, and I was glad that we had that one. Then on FanDuel, now you're gonna be pissing me off FanDuel because I mean I loved Chris Stapps to the point where I was willing to pay 9.7 for him. I love Buckets to the point where I was willing to pay 9K for him. I was initially on D Wade. I liked D Wade, but before lineups locked, DFS, you know, dealt us a bad hand, and there was no Wade, so we had to fit in. And I'm staring at these two guys. I'm looking at Avery Bradley, and I'm looking at Gary Harris. And if they're not the same price, I had enough to get Gary Harris, and I ended up sort of splitting the difference between Bradley and Gary Harris. And man, all of my Harris lines on FanDuel cashed. All of my Bradley lines sucked. Like he was, Detroit Pistons as a team, they were horrible. They were horrible. All right, then of course Jeff Teague was Jeff Teague, but this was still a solid core. I was very surprised to see that on DraftKings, bro. This Kristaps was 45% owned on DraftKings. 45% owned. He was 29% owned over on FanDuel. So pretty solid core. I'd say. I feel like I did pretty well. It was decent. My best lineup. Most of these guys will be in there. My best lineup was the George Hill one, where we didn't play Teague, but we played George Hill here, so that we could pay up to get Wiggins, I believe it was. So we had Dinwiddie, J.R. Smith, who I didn't like, who you all said that we should play after Dwayne Wade was ruled out. Andrew Wiggins, Julius Randle, Towns, Butler, Porzingis, and George Hill. And I can tell you that J.R. Smith play, thank y'all. That was nice. That was nice. So, and I say that I got to keep it real, bro. It's not like I just come up with all of this shit myself. Like that's not what it is, bro. I lean on the community. Like we get together and we chop shit up. So let's go ahead and jump into the feature for players of the night. These are the 4 most talked about, tweeted about guys in the DFS Sweatshop, in the Facebook VIP, and as well as on Twitter. First guy we're going to talk about is the Who Dat, scoring all them points over there, player of the night. That could go to none other than the big homie Andrew Wiggins, a perfect 6x plus. Went out and played 40 minutes in an overtime game, 20 points, 7 boards, a couple assists, 1 3-point shot, 2 steals, 1 block, and only 1 turnover. That's pretty much mistake-free basketball. He pissed me off because I finished 5th in this tournament, where all he had to do was inbound the ball properly, and I would have finished 4th. But he had a turnover in the last second, which really fucked me over. But it's all good. Tonight, Andrew Wiggins, man, you are the Who Dat scoring on the points over their player tonight. You have been shit for a while, and now you're getting together. We love that. Thank you so much for your contribution to my good lineup yesterday. And let's move on to the Who Dat. No, how did I miss that play? How did I miss that play tonight? How did I miss this? Oh, come on. I'm going to tell you how I missed Joel Embiid. And I sent down a tweet that explained how I missed Joel Embiid. Yo, we had no idea what was going on. Like, nobody knew what was going on. Lineups are about to lock. It's approaching 7 o'clock. And I had a lineup with Simmons and Embiid in it. Just because I'm going to play those 2 cats together because they can be a force, man. They can dominate when they both play. And I didn't know if Embiid was going to be playing. So that not only took me off of Joel Embiid, it took me off of Ben Simmons. So I had absolutely 0 Ben Simmons. So that was dope. But I didn't have any Joel Embiid either. The dude went off, smashed almost 6x, 58 points, 39 minutes. He had 28 points, 12 boards, 8 assists, almost a triple-double, a couple of turnovers and a block shot. And usually Joel Embiid is going to get more block shots than that. This could have easily been a 70-point game. He should have got way more blocks and steals, more defensive stats than that. But I digress. It was a solid game for Joel Embiid. Now, let's talk about the heat check play tonight. And this can only go to 1. And this is beautiful. Yo, whenever I have the pleasure to bestow the heat check play of the night, okay, on a gentleman that's from the New York Knicks, my New York Knicks that plays regularly in Madison Square Garden, it is always an honor. It's always a privilege. Shout out to you, big homie, Kristaps Porzingis. You are tonight's heat check play of the night. You invited your girl. You had the hose on deck. The jump shot was working. You dropped 37, 11 boards. Nice double-double. Shout out to the homie, Kristaps Porzingis. You did the damn thing. And I'm going to show you what Kristaps was shooting for. Yo, he was shooting for a reason, bro. Kristaps was playing for a reason. And I'm going to show you right now what Kristaps was all about. Why he was doing what he was doing. Because he was balling. Kristaps was balling out. And that's a lot of the wins from last night. That was a great. This is this is what brought Kristaps out. Now, if this don't make you go out and drop 37 points, I don't know what will. Okay? If this doesn't make you go out and snatch 11 boards away from the defenseless hands of other defenders, I don't know what else will. Shout out to the homie Kristaps Porzingis, inviting the young lady out and balling all the way out. So, heat check play goes to the homie Kristaps Porzingis. Now, we must talk about that one motherfucker.
Snowflake, snowflake, little snowflake falling from the sky. Snowflake, snowflake, little snowflake falling, 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 falling on my head.
Cut. You, Ben, you's a motherfucking snowflake with your old snowflake ass. How the fuck do you go out? How the fuck do you go out and play 40 minutes in an overtime game? No, how did you play the first 3 quarters without scoring a damn point? Come on, fam. 9.8K. You're robbed. You're robbed. You stuck them up without a gun. It's a good thing that your dumbass coach and your bum-ass team couldn't tell us when another dude was starting, because I got rid of all of you. I took you out. I took him out. I got rid of all of that shit. And can combine both of you together wasn't going to get me nothing but 60 points, 70 points anyway. Ben, you can't shoot. I'm gonna tell you, Ben, the only difference between Ben Simmons with his snowflake ass and Lonzo Ball, who y'all always heap crap on, is the fact that Ben Simmons can cover up not being able to shoot by being big and strong and being able to get into the paint, to get into the lane, to take the high percentage shot. That is the only difference between Ben Simmons and fucking Lonzo Ball. That is it. He is just bigger and he's stronger, so he can cover up the fact that he can't shoot by getting in the lane, taking a more high percentage shot. That is it. That is it. This dude and Lonzo Ball are the same fucking cat. That's it. You're a motherfucking snowflake with your snowflake ass, and I ain't gonna roster your bitch ass again as long as you're at 9K or above. I am done. Let's get on with the rest of the motherfucking show. Now, we've got a very solid slate of games here. We got 9 games jumping off at 7 o'clock. We're gonna rock out this game. Now, the first thing I want you to know, bro, is let's talk a little bit about roster construction. Let's talk about this, all right? Let's talk a little bit about roster construction, okay? The reason why I rock out my core the way I do, and I try to keep at least 20 grand on the table, is because I want to set the people that are going to follow me up to have a balanced line. Is to make the lineup as balanced as possible. You know, you don't want to be too top heavy. You don't want to reach for the stars and you got to dig for the scrubs. Like, you don't want to do that every night, especially on DraftKings. Now, FanDuel, that's a different animal, because you don't have as much flexibility in the actual roster spaces to do whatever you want to do. Like, you got to play 2 power forwards. You only can play 1 center. On DraftKings, where you have that much flexibility, a lot of times the way you kill yourself is you get so flexible in your construction that you don't play the right sequence of players. And I can tell you, on DraftKings, man, it's going to be very hard if you don't have 4 primary ball handlers. On DraftKings, you can play, especially on a large slate, you can play 4 primary ball handlers. That's the first thing I do on any DraftKings lineup. I look to how I can roster 4 primary ball handlers. Okay, and then from there you could fit on the rest. Now, and honestly, the industry is going to give you certain plays. The industry is going to give you chalk plays. Like you listen to other podcasts, see what everybody else is going on. You could kind of get a read on how popular a player is going to be, and then it's up to you to grab all of those chalk plays that you're getting around the league from everybody. Around the industry, from all the DFS touts. And to take those chalk plays and take them to the side and say, damn, man, out of all of these chalk plays, I agree with this one and this one. And usually it's because those are 2 plays that you already liked anyway the night before. You see what I'm saying? You look at those 2. And then the NBA is going to give you a couple of plays. The NBA is going to give you plays. And they give you through rest, through injury, things like that. So when you find out a guy is out, let's just say tonight we find out that Russell Westbrook is out. And somebody is starting for Russell Westbrook. Okay, so let's look. Okay, so let's say Raymond Felton is starting for Russell Westbrook. The first thing everybody's gonna do is flock to Raymond Felton. Oh my God, he's starting. Oh my God, he's starting. We gotta play him. That's the first thing they're gonna do. Or let's say any star is out for the team. Aaron Gordon is out, so you got to start Biombo, and everybody got to play Biombo. Like everybody's gonna do that. But that's not the way to go, in my opinion. I think the way to go for us is to first look at who the star being out is going to affect that's already starting. The coach already entrusts certain guys on the team with being a part of the starting rotation. So if you take a star out, don't automatically just put whoever replaces the star in. Take a look first around at the starters who are going to benefit from that usage being gone. Then after that, if you don't see what you're looking for there, or even if you do, look at the opposing team, because maybe if Jimmy Butler is out, that opens up the shooting guard spot on the other team where you may not have thought about rostering him because Jimmy Butler is such a great defender. So now, if Roberson is out, oh my God. So now the guy on the other team, the shooting guard on the other team, is more in play. And how about if he's cheap and already trusted as a starter? You can use him. Then you can look to the guy who's going to be replacing the star, right? So you come up with your own core 4 of plays. You do that. Then you look around the industry, see what everybody's talking about. You grab a couple of pieces of chalk that you like, and then you look at what the NBA gives you. And that is NBA roster construction for me on DraftKings. So let's go ahead and jump to the slate. First game we got is going to be the Oklahoma City Thunder going to Indiana, take on the Pacers. This is a game that we have been waiting for. Because a couple things about this game really stand out. Number one, you got Vic Oladipo priced up at 9.2. You've got Paul George going back to Indiana. I should have played it. I should have. That'd have been dope. That'd have been dope. Yeah, you got Paul George going back to Indiana. This is dope. This is my Paul George take today. This is my you got Paul George here going back to Indiana. So he is fairly cheap, man. 7.7. You know he's been getting up for this game. You know he's been seeing how well Vic has been doing and how much the Indiana Pacers organization, Indiana Pacers fans love Vic. So I can definitely look at both of these guys wanting to play their best and really show out for one another. So Paul George easily is going to be in play for us, like without a doubt. Paul George definitely is going to be in play. Steven Adams at 6'4", he's a guy that I think we can consider. 11-2 for Russell Westbrook. Yes, you could pretty much stack Oklahoma City here in the spot. I really think so. And if Andre Roberson is out, that's definitely gonna put me on Vic. If Roberson plays, I'm gonna be slightly not off of Vic Oladipo, but I'm not gonna be all about him the way I am about Paul George. But if Roberson is out, Vic looks like a really solid play, and one that I think is gonna. People still aren't sold. Like, people still are not sold on how good Vic Oladipo is, and how well he's been playing. People are not sold on it, bro. 71 last game in overtime against Denver. 54, 45. That 33-point game against New York. 65 against Toronto. People are still not sold on this cat. But I think that's a mistake because he does like tremendous on defense as well. Then we got Miles Turner at 6'3". I hate to play centers against Oklahoma City. The one thing is Miles is at the crib, and of course he's a guy that can step away from the rim and shoot the mid-range to deep 3-point shot. So I am going to have a look at Miles Turner. I think Bojan Bogdanovic is in play at 4.7. They've got to get scoring from him if they plan to be in this game. Now, Darren Collison being a game-time decision, that is something that we must look at, because if we get Lance Stevenson here as a starter, bro, ooh, if we get Lance Stevenson, not even as a starter, but just coming off of the bench and playing a ton of minutes, because I'm gonna be honest with you, the OKC bench sucks. The OKC bench sucks. I don't want nothing to do with the Oklahoma City bench. I want to play cats against the OKC bench. They suck. They really do suck. 27-point floor, 71-point ceiling. Yeah, that's what you get with Vic Oladipo. That's what you get with him, especially if Collison is out. Let's check on his injury here. Let's check on it. We got he suffered an injury during the game against blah, 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 blah. And he's got a knee too. He's got a knee, so he might not even play. Be the game time decision, he might not even play. I like Sabonis going back too. Well, not going back, but Sabonis is a part of the revenge narrative too. 5.3. They gave up on Sabonis as well. 5.3. I don't know. Lance 30 minutes average. Last two average. Yes. I like Lance here. I think Lance is a sneaky play at 4.1, bro. Especially if Collison does play or if they start Corey Joseph in his place. Still having Lance come off of the bench, he's usable. I like this one. Melo at 6'5". Doesn't look bad either. And yo, who's Melo guarding? Thad? Oh my God, play Thad. Melo guarding Thad? Melo can't do nothing with power forwards. Melo is like Melo is the worst power forward defender in the league. He's the worst defender in the league, yeah, actually. So I'm gonna have lineups where if I'm not playing Depot, I've got some Thad Young, I've got some Lance Stevenson. Yeah, that's how I'm doing it. I love Thad too. 5.9, that's nice against Melo. And Thad is a pretty decent defender. He can stay with Carmelo too. I like that one. Next game we got the LA Clippers going to Orlando, take on the Magic. We got DeAndre Jordan at 7'3". It's got to be usable here. He can be a great rebounding prospect in this spot. I can definitely see, DeAndre getting 15, 16 rebounds in this game. Vooch at 8'8". I think he's definitely in play at center spot. Elfrid Payton at 7.2. How does a guy play this bad and the price go up on him? Like, that's just ridiculous. And I want to look at Elf's minutes. 24, 31, 40. This dude played 40 minutes in overtime and had 25 points. Like, what the fuck? That's horrible. And that's just bad. Jonathan Simmons at 6'4". He's a guy that I definitely want to consider here. And Elf is in play, man. As much as people, throw shit on him, man, he's in play. He definitely is. Then you got DJ Augustin at 4'3". Now, if Gordon is out, Aflalo being a game time decision, we may see. If you don't see DJ Augustin actually start, you're going to see him play a ton of minutes. Let's look at DJ's minutes. 27, 25, 22 in the last three. That's solid. For that price, that's solid. And this guy that can shoot a deep shot, he should definitely be able to play. He should be able to play and play solid minutes. Then we got Milos off of the bench at 3'9", who probably should start in this one. Let's take a look. I know he should have been limited last time out, but he ended up having a decent game, I think. It's not showing Milos' last performance. The coach's son? Yeah, I like the coach's son here. 5'9". I definitely think he's in play in the spot. Yo, the coach's son is definitely in play. Coach's son is definitely in play. Lou Will is in play here. Lou Will, and yes, they are in play. Even Wesley Johnson at 4'1". This is cheap as shit. I like that. If you had to choose between DJ and Vooch, it depends on the rest of my lineup. Who do I think is going to score more points? I think Vooch is going to score more points, but it depends on who I have around them. You know what I mean? Yo, Austin Rivers and Wesley Johnson, man, I kind of like that. I like that. Lou Will, yeah, this is a good game. This is a good game. We don't have an over/under on for it yet, though. That's a good one. Next game, we got the Memphis Grizzlies going to Washington. And the Wizards are on a back-to-back. This is the first time we're going to see John Wall. They said that he will probably return today. The last thing I heard about it was he came in with a questionable tag, but the Wizards are currently headed to back-to-back set. They decided it was Wall's best interest to remain sidelined at least one more contest. He's slated to make his return Wednesday against the Grizzlies. Yeah, so he's probably going to be playing tonight. And the first game back against the Grizzlies, I don't want to play John Wall against the Grizzlies in the first game back. I'm actually kind of don't want to play a lot of these Grizzlies, a lot of these Wizards against the Grizzlies here. This is a team that we know like limits scoring. So we got Gasol at 7'6", who I think is usable. Ricky Reek at 7'3". He is going to be usable for us. Chandler Parsons at 4K. Don't really love that. Oubre Jr. at 4'6". Blah. I don't like a lot of this shit. Gortat at 5K. I don't like this. I can definitely fade this shit. I can fade this complete game. I don't like this game. Let's see if we got going to be the Denver Nuggets going to Boston, take on the Celtics. Kyrie Irving, a game time decision. So when has Kyrie hit value? Kyrie never hits value, bro, ever. He's priced at 8.2. This is Boston's at home. This is tough, man. I think going back to maybe Mason Plumlee, going back to Wilson Chandler, priced at 4.6, could definitely be a big help. Gary Harris at 6'3", looks to be usable. Will Barton being a game time decision, man, we've got to find out about that because that could completely upset the balance of this rotation. We might even see a guy like Trey Lyles moving to the starting rotation, and you never know with Mike Malone. Yeah, Harris and Barton out. Exactly. Yeah, that's why I got Harris here. Jamal Murray at 5'2". He went ham yesterday, and the price went. The price didn't move, so he's definitely a guy that you might want to consider against Kyrie Irving defense or not. Jason Tatum at 6'1", don't love him. Jaylen Brown, yes. Anytime I get Jaylen Brown under 6K, I absolutely like him. Then we've got Aaron Baines, who everybody is talking about at 3.9. If we don't see Horford, Horford should be out. Let's take a look. Yeah, he returns 12-15. So with Horford out, Baines is going to be a guy who's going to be a stupid injury chalk. Everybody's going to be on him. We get it. Daniel Theis is also going to be a name that we're going to see thrown around a lot. Marcus Smart for the bench at 5'4" looks to be usable as well. I love Jaylen Brown here. I do. I like Jaylen Brown. Here. This could be a good game. And then the funny thing is, this is going to be a game where Fareed goes ham. You know what I'm saying? Fareed could play like a ton of minutes on a back-to-back. Fareed could play a ton of minutes here. So we're definitely going to not lock him, but we're going to highlight Kenneth Fareed here. Because you look at it, maybe that's why he didn't play a lot of minutes yesterday, is because they were on the back-to-back. So you rest them one night, and you play them. And that proved to definitely be helpful because Will Barton is out. Or Will Barton left the game. So Portland, Miami's going to be next game. We got 202 point total. Miami Heat, they're giving up 2.5 at the crib. We got Goran Dragic at 6'2", who I think is definitely in play here. People are not going to want to play Dragic, but I kind of like him. James Johnson at 5'6" is definitely usable for me. Dion Waiters at 5'3", very interesting, man. I kind of want to play this backcourt against the Portland backcourt, especially with Miami at the crib. Tyler Johnson at 4'5". I could see why you might like him, but I don't really love him very much. Josh Richardson at 4'5", could be a usable play as well. Maybe some Wayne Ellington for the cheap at 3'6". If they need that kind of scoring power, that production, that three-point production off of the bench, that could be usable. On the other side, I hate playing point guards in Miami against Goran Dragic, but his defense has been down this year. He hasn't been, the defender that he's been in the past, but he's been a really good defender, just not recently. So the guy that jumps out to me here is going to be Alfred Camino at 4'8". I like him. Evan Turner at 4K looks to be usable as well. Maybe some CJ McCollum at 6'7". I'm not on Dame. I don't love Dame in the spot. I just don't. Pat Connaughton at 3'6" could be usable as a cheap punt play. Of course, Nurk is Nurk is a game time decision, but he should be coming back today, is what they're saying. Yeah, he has an ankle. Waiters has a hurt elbow. Let's take a look. See if we got any news. Waiters said Monday he's still bothered by a tendon issue in his right elbow. Okay, Waiters has been dealing with the issue for the last few games, and while he doesn't plan to miss any time, the 26-year-old says he's considering wearing a shooting sleeve on his right arm to help quell some of the discomfort. Waiters went for 22 points to the loss to the Spurs last week, but performances was bookended by a pair of horrific shooting nights. Waiters scored just 4 points on 1 of 10 shooting on last Sunday's game to Golden State. He's posted only 2 points. Yeah, we're off of that. Good look, bro. Good look. Next game we got is going to be the Utah Jazz going to Chicago to take on the Chicago Bulls. Chris Dunn, he is still very cheap, 6'3". I like that. Him and Dinwiddie, man, they kind of mirror each other to me, and I like him. Rudy Gobert defense is, not Rudy Gobert, but Ricky Rubio defense is not something I'm afraid of at all. I do like Rudy Gobert though at 6'6". I like him. Donovan Mitchell, yes, at 7K. Yo, Donovan Mitchell, yes. I like Donovan Mitchell today. 23, 39, 48, 27, 53. Yeah, he's in play for me today. Definitely. Derek Favors at 5'5". That looks to be a usable option there. Ricky Rubio is so cheap, man, at 5K. He is going to be usable. Alec Burks at 5.1. That price is up on him now. I can't say that I would love to play Alec Burks at 5'1". Plus, Rodney Hood should be back for this game. So on the other side, Justin Holiday at 4.9. I could see the appeal, but I don't love it. Miritich at 5'2" is a no for me. Denzel Valentine is a no for me. Marketing is a game time decision. I don't love that. Maybe some Nwaba off of the bench at 4'1". Yo, I don't like that. All I like is Chris Dunn from Chicago. But I like Rudy though. I think Rudy double is easy in this one at 6.6. He's looking kind of Corey to me. Gobert, yeah, he's good. The knee's good to go. I like Gobert today. Next game we got is going to be Milwaukee Bucks going to New Orleans to take on the Pelicans. Giannis at 11.3. We've got Boogie at 11K. Anthony Davis is a game time decision here. We already know what time it is. If AD is not playing, then you just play Boogie, period. If the sweatshop law, bro, if AD is not playing, not only do you play Boogie, but you play Drew Holiday, you play Rajon Rondo. That's just what you do. You just play those cats, right? If marketing players you like them, nah. I don't like that Chicago. I like Chris Dunn enough to play. You know what I mean? So we got Davis, Jameer, and Dante Cunningham. All those guys are game time decisions with Tony Allen out. So then on the other side, look at this: Parker, Snell, Dellavedova, Teletovic, Terry. Like all of them cats are gonna be out here. I think that Eric Bledsoe is in play at 6'8" easily. You can look to Eric Bledsoe. Chris Middleton at 6'8". He's another guy that's also in play for us here. Giannis, I don't absolutely love Giannis. I don't love Giannis, but he's playable. He's playable. I don't love him in the spot, but he's playable. Now, if there's no Anthony Davis, I like him even more. I like him even more. John Henson at 4'7", not a big fan of that. Malcolm Brogdon at 4'7". Seeing minutes off of the bench for Malcolm Brogdon. Yo, Snell is out. That does increase the usage on Malcolm Brogdon, so I'm going to go ahead and highlight him as well. Next game we got is going to be the Toronto Raptors going to Phoenix to take on the Suns. Larry DeRozan, yes, give me them two cats. I like that. Jonas Valanciunas at 4.7 is a guy that could definitely be in play here. Jakob Poeltl 3.7, I kind of like him. CJ Miles off of the bench, no. Van Vliet, no. Pascal, no. Especially if Nogueira is out. On the other side, it's so tough to like any of these cats, man. You look at Mike James at 4.3. That could be a usable play. TJ Warren at 6.7. He's got to be able to use. I'm going to go back to Josh Jackson at 4.2. If he's starting, man, I'm going to give him a shot. Next game we got, and the last game on the slate is going to be the Charlotte Hornets going to Houston to take on the Rockets. It's a 221 point. It's a 221 point total with a 12.5 differential. Oh, apparently we like Serge Ibaka. Take a look at Serge's last few games. 32, 30, 30, 37. What was he done against the Suns? 37 against the Suns earlier. Okay. Yeah, we could. Yeah. Serge is playable. Yeah, we can play Serge. Toronto stack? Because if Phoenix puts up any fight, Toronto stack is gonna be fire. All right, so here we got Charlotte and Houston. Kemba on the road, priced down at 7.5 in a pace up matchup. I do like Kemba. I do like Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard has been playing lights out. Let's take a look at him on the road, and then we're going to talk a little bit about him. Okay, here we go. 36, 39, 67 on the road. 36, 18, 42, 41, 21. So he's been decent. He's much better at the Hive, but he's been decent on the road. But in a matchup like this where he did play for Houston Rockets and he's probably going to get some boos, he might want to get up to play. I think that Dwight Howard against Houston could be a solid play. He's priced at 7.6. That's very usable. For me, Clint Capella, you can't predict foul trouble, right? You can't predict foul trouble. But if I had to pick one player on this slate that I would avoid for fear that they would be in early foul trouble, it would be Clint Capella. I'm serious. Dwight Howard, so active at the rim. So active at the rim. And they feed him, bro. They want to get him the ball. They want to get him going. It would be so hard for me to play Clint Capella. I really feel like if I had to pick one guy that I could see, getting some early foul trouble, it would be Capella. And that's for that reason. I can't play him at all. I am gonna be on Dwight Howard. Hopefully Nick Batum sits out. If he does, then that's gonna put Jeremy Lamb in play at 5.4. MKG should see a ton of defensive usage. I've got MKG on Harden, bro. I've got MKG on Harden. I've got Kemba on Chris Paul. And Chris Paul is definitely in play here. As a matter of fact, if I had to choose between Kemba and Paul, I would go Paul because Kemba's just not a great defender. But I think both of those guys are going to be in play. Of course, James Harden 11-6 is going to be in play. Of course, he is James Harden. Trevor Ariza 4-9. Don't love him. He could see some MKG as well on switches. Okay, so Marvin Williams at 4-9. That price is up on Marv, bro. But the fast-paced game, man, you got to take a look. And they're going to need people like Frank Kaminsky to come off the bench and shoot well in order to stay in this game. So I think I can get behind him. Eric Gordon at 4-9. Definitely a play that I want to look at. PJ Tucker at 3-6 could be usable. I don't like Ryan Anderson. I don't love Trevor Ariza. I don't love Clint Capella. Give me Harden, Paul, and Gordon and PJ Tucker off of the bench for the Houston Rockets. So here we go, man. This is a very solid slate of games, man. Let's go check out FanDuel and see if we got any pricing discrepancies on the slate that we can kind of exploit. Let's take a look. Westbrook. Ooh, look at Joe. That's it. Paul George is the lock of the century. Paul George is what's the price on Paul George on DraftKings? What's the price? 7-7. On DraftKings, he's 7-7. All right. On FanDuel, he is 7-6. Just play him. Paul George is the lock of the slate. Like I'm gonna be 100% Paul George across both sides. It cannot hurt you. There's nothing that can do to hurt you because guess what? Everybody else is too. Everybody else is gonna play Paul George. They're gonna play him. Westy at 11-2. Of course, that's playable. Roberson, Vic is 10K. Ooh, Vic is 10K. And okay, now on first, my wife is naked. At first glance, you say, "Damn, man, Vic Oladipo 10K. That's a huge salary. That's a huge tag." But think about what Vic does well. Okay, think about two things. Think about how that 10K price tag is going to scare people off of him. Think about Vic Oladipo actually being at home, back at Indiana with this team that he hates coming. Because don't get it twisted. He hates them. He hates Oklahoma City. He hates Orlando. Do not get that twisted. He gets up to play both of those cats because he feels like he is a premier player in this league, and they disrespected him. He does feel that way. He does not want to be traded or by another team for the rest of his career. He went on record saying that he felt like the Oklahoma City Thunder welcomed him in, treated him like family. The fans were great. They loved him, and he felt like it was all a lie apparently because they traded him after 1 year to get Paul George, right? And he wants to show that he is better, right? And then the last point, Carlson could be out, and then the last point, that's 4 points. The last point about Vic Oladipo in this game is on FanDuel, bro, you get major benefit for defensive statistics, for blocks, for steals. That this guy is doing that. He is getting steals. He is playing passing lanes. He is stripping people down on ball. Like he is blocking shots from behind. Like he's like a mix of defensively. He's like a mix of John Wall and Iverson. Like he is chasing down blocks. He is going out of his way to play the passing lanes. He's getting those steals, finishing them down the court. So at 10K, the price is steep, but people are not going to want to play him, and you're going to be in a minority, I think, if you play Vic Oladipo. And I'm going to have some exposure, definitely. I'm going to have some exposure. Then we've got the Clippers in Orlando. Vooch is all up to 9.3. For me on FanDuel, that is unplayable. I only have one shot, one kill at the center spot. I can't pay that much. 9.3 is a lot to play for Vucevic here. It really is. I think I can. I think I can get some more with a different center, man. You got DeAndre 7'9", Dakota Sun 6'2", Wesley Johnson, Sweet Lewis 8.2, which is not horrible. It's playable. Jonathan Simmons, I think he's a little cheaper on FanDuel than he is on DraftKings. That looks good as well. DJ Augustin is 4K. He's cheaper on FanDuel than he is on DraftKings. That's usable. Then we got Memphis, Washington, where I don't really love a lot about anything about this game, actually. Brad Beal, 8.6. You could use Brad Beal, I think. Porter, 7.4. Nah. Gortat, 4.7. That's cheap. That's cheap. That's cheap. You can use that. Denver, Boston. Kyrie is cheaper on FanDuel than he is on DraftKings, but he's a game time decision. Jaylen Brown, another guy, cheaper on FanDuel than he is on DraftKings. That's usable. We got Gary Harris. Ooh, I like that. Gary Harris is cheaper on FanDuel at 5.8 than he is on DraftKings. I like that. That's as is Wilson Chandler at 4.1. Jamal Murray too, but only by 100. I like that one. Fareed 5.5. Yo, I like this, man. Yo, they're not as tight as they've been in the last couple of days. All right, so we got Portland and Miami. CJ is 6'8". Yeah. Al-Farouq is up from DraftKings, and Evan Turner is way cheaper on FanDuel than he is on DraftKings. Evan Turner, usable play here. I like this on FanDuel. Do not sleep on Evan Turner. 23 in his last game. He played 30 minutes. And there were some injury situations, like Nurkic and Harkless were out then too. Linux 6K, James Johnson, Dragic, Waiters, don't love that. Utah and Chicago. Gobert 7.4, Mitchell 7.6. Favors is cheaper at 5.1. That's usable. Chris Dunn 7.4. Holiday, blah, blah, blah. Milwaukee, New Orleans. We got Boogie at 12K. Giannis at 12K. Bledsoe 6'9". That's 100 more than DraftKings. That's usable. Brogdon 4.7. I can look at that. Jameer Nelson's out. Well, game time decision. Rondo is 5'8". So Rondo is cheaper on FanDuel than he is on DraftKings. And to be honest about that, though, you know, Milwaukee does limit point guards. They do limit point guards, but that's still good though. Yeah. What's Rondo's price on DK? Shoot. Rondo's price on DK is 6'3". He's 6'3" on DK. So that is a strong stance that FanDuel is making. DraftKings is making a strong stance. That's 500 discount for Rondo. That's a 500 discount for Rondo on FanDuel. Then we got Toronto and Phoenix. DeRozan 8.8. Lowry is 8K. He's cheaper, 300 on FanDuel. Serge is 5'8". That's pretty similar. TJ Warren is 8K. Utis 4.8. Josh Jackson 4.7. No big discrepancies there. And then we got Charlotte and Houston. Dwight 8.8. Woo! Kemba 7.9. Jeremy Lamb 4.9. That is a huge discount. Look at that, bro. That is a huge discount. Let's get what is Lamb on FanDuel on DraftKings, bro? That's a huge discount. I think he's 5'9", right? No, he's 5'4". He's 5'4", and he's going down to 4.9 on FanDuel. That's Jeremy Lamb. Yeah, Jeremy Lamb. Now, and this is all things considered, man. You look at Nick Batum not being there. Frank Kaminsky off of the bench, 3.8. He is cheaper by a couple hundred. Okay. Harden, 12.1. Ooh, you got to get up to pay Harden. Paul, 9.3. Capella, 7.4. No big discount. Ryan Anderson is a discount at 3.6, but I hate to play Ryan Anderson. He just does not shoot well at home. He does not shoot well at home. So, yeah, man, we went through, got it all done. All right, cool. It's going to be a great slate today, man. So, yo, if you want to jump in and get with us, man, it's very simple. We're going to be doing a live chop-up where we go out. Well, what we're going to do now, we're going to break out of this huddle. Break. We're going to go, and we're going to get all the information that we can from everybody else. We're gonna look around the whole DFS industry, and we're gonna get as much information as we can. We're gonna look around NBA. We're gonna look at everything. We're gonna get all the information that we can get, and then we're gonna take that, bring it into the line drive at 5. That's where we're gonna sit down and we're gonna discuss all of this shit. We're gonna discuss everything, right? And do our best to build some great lineups like we did last night. So shout out to the homies. Thank you all for being here, man. It was a really good night last night. Let's keep it going. Yo, let me do a little quick shout outs. Shout out to the homie Michael Jordan. This is the Michael Jordan, big homie. Good to see you there in the spot you were in. Shout out to Mitch Winstanley, the big homie. Had a very solid night, man. Shout out to you. Shout out to this the homie. Shout out to you, man. That's Tracy. Shout out to Tracy, man. You had a good one. Big shout out to the homie. So we had a pretty solid night last night, man. Let's keep it going. Let's keep that energy flowing. Remember, if you're on FanDuel, keep it 400. If you're on DraftKings, keep it 350. You're rocking with me, your DFS Jerusalem, where we keep it real, we keep it honest, and we always keep it 300. Peace.